step, and it says a global police state will be brought in from a pandemic, and there'll be worldwide martial law. It actually says it in the document.
Okay.
It's like they always go like, oh, there's no Hunter emails. They admit the emails are real.
Right.
I love that clock.
It is weird that they're saying
clock.
TGT Studios.
Okay,
Wait, it is weird.
Here's the document.
Okay.
We're
The
ready.
Rockefeller Foundation Annual Report 2010.
I'll control F. What would you like me to look up?
Look up police state. Look up.
Yeah, just look up police state.
I forget the exact words. I mean, let's just go read it for yourself, man.
Control F police
Nothing
state.
came up.
This is just one paper. That's it.
I mean, that's the whole PDF is here. It's really, really, really long.
So when you control F
Yeah, it would
police
come
state,
up. Nothing
nothing.
came up.
Okay. What else?
I mean, I've read it before. It says that. So anybody can go read it right now.
So you think they edited it?
No. I mean, I can't remember the exact words.
Okay, well, let's look up pandemic. Look up pandemic.
Pandemic just means widely distributed. Epidemic means you're actually sick.
4 mentions of the word pandemic.
Okay. All right. With no network to transfer critical infectious disease information without open lines of communications, thousands more fall sick. The new, in quotes, disease becomes an unchecked pandemic. By the time the right expertise is brought to bear on the
push for
problem,
world government.
it's too late. The disease has spread around the globe. In a world of global trade and travel, what's traded faster and travels furthest are the microbes in every handshake. Southeast Asia. So what is this in reference to? Okay, it says a few miles east, young boy and his men. No, hold on, please go back to that. Yeah, it's just a scenario that they're painting. So make that a little larger. No, go back to it. Just go back to where it was. All right. The potential pandemic of the past few decades have severely tested the world's ability to work across human borders. Detection remains weak in many parts of the world. The public health response has frequently been slow and fragmented. The looming threat of infectious disease presents humanity with a new challenge to communicate and collaborate swifter and with greater efficiency than ever before. That doesn't sound like they're trying to end the world.
Okay, well, you're just reading one of these documents. I can pull up the articles. I can show it to you yourself.
But
it's world government controlled. They talk about a worldwide police state. You search the term pandemic. I'm telling you what's in these things.
Okay, emerging pandemics, the new century, SARS, avian flu, and swine flu. If we don't move
investigated
quickly,
systems to bring in global government.
It seems like they're trying to prevent pandemics. If we
don't
us. Move quickly, viruses will. By continuing our drive to invest in systems that coordinate efforts and share information, the Rockefeller Foundation is working to ensure
which is the global
that we
government
have the
controlling
ability
all of this.
to meet the health challenges of an interconnected world.
Isn't the perfect analogy terrorism? Because it's like terrorism exists. People want to prevent terrorism, but it's like, how many rights do you give up in order to do that? And then, all these proactive measures that we take to prevent terrorism, a lot of them create more terrorists. So I think it's like a balance of remaining a free society and dealing with a lot of these problems.
Listen, I sit here, we sit here and we talk about something, and whether Jamie can find it or not becomes the arbiter whether it's real. So they found something about an AT&T lobbying. They didn't find a thing about this. I've got the Operation Lockstep documents where they say we're going to bring in this global authoritarian police state.
You have to show us those.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting here in studio talking to you about this.
But I understand. I
That's
understand
all
what you're saying. But we wanted to try to.
But
read it.
everybody else watching this is going to go look it up.
Well, I hope they do.
They're going to go crazy.
I hope we.
No, that's
I
good.
wish we could have found it right then if it's real.
No. I know you want to show it,
but it might be an interpretation of what they're saying, like the Whitmer quote.
No, it says specifically.
The Whitmer quote is just a criticism of Trump. She's blaming all this lockdown.
No, Whitmer was
Trump.
found by the Supreme Court of Michigan and by a federal court to have seized all three branches of governments and basically set up martial law. They even used those terms. And she was overturned.
When you say in that quote, I want to, when you say if you are sick of lockdowns and you're sick of not being able to go to church, Joe Biden should be elected.
Agreed.
That is not a huge jump from what he said.
No, it's not a huge jump.
Yeah.
But the problem is the way it's being said, she was talking about how bad Trump handled the rate of infection first.
Of course. And that's
all right, well, let's expand on that. I remember interviewing Lou Dobbs 15 years ago, back when he was still on CNN, and we were looking at documents where it said we're going to bring in global government in the North American Union using the threat of viruses, migration flows, and economic collapse. And they said like a deadly flu or a deadly SARS.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here watching this power grab, watching the UN and big tech saying, well, you can't say that the UN's wrong because the UN's in charge. Since when is the news, WHO, and all these doctors, all these medical doctors that come out and say other things other than them, like how steroids cured it or, how hydroxychloroquine helped it? How are they being banned? Even if they were wrong, they should have their license removed. That's what that's about. It's not Google decides that if something isn't the UN, it's taken down. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it is a problem that they're deciding which doctors to listen to and which doctors not to, when there is some real controversy as to how to handle the virus with treatment.
Right.
What treatment is effective and what isn't effective. Now, it turns out there's a lot of doctors that think that hydroxychloroquine isn't effective. There's some doctors that thought it was, and they think that a combination of zinc and but the problem is the people that are deciding what gets taken down or not getting
That's a huge
taken
problem.
down.
And the problem is that the doctors who go, well, we think that, it's like we've minimized the voices of the people that are saying one thing,
Right.
and we've elevated the voices of the people that are saying another thing, and it's like that becomes the real issue. Whether people like Trump, there's stuff to criticize about Trump. We all know that.
And in their defense, they're doing it because they think that people are going to do something foolish and they're going to go out and spread the virus further. Because
It's not the media's job, though. This is the problem. I think the media has taken on this really activist role where they are now
worse. It's not the media.
Worse, yeah.
Social media media
too,
companies,
yeah.
not even necessarily the media. Where you have like legitimate journalists that are taking
Will
on
Trump
this role.
do you think he would do something in his second term about social media?
I think he certainly is going to do something.
Why hasn't he done something already?
Because it's so complex, because they'll claim it's election meddling, even though they're doing that at the same time. What we have is multinational corporations acting in tandem that are already making the nation state obsolete. They're creating a information warfare monopoly, and they're censoring people and using that power they have. And we just sit here denying it's going on until it's too late. I mean, it's a really serious situation.
And it is a crazy situation where all of these tech companies all lean left, all of them.
Yeah, they do.